Hi, this is Dave and Rachel from Future Past Vintage Collectibles. We are talking about comic books. Do some housekeeping real quick, Rachel.
Yeah, we are comic resellers. So if you're new, hello, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go follow us over on Instagram where we do claim sales every Monday and Friday. Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. We focus on super high grade bronze comics and copper.
Yes, super high grade. It goes without saying, we buy collections. No matter how big, no matter how small, we buy collections. I'm passionate about buying collections. Guess what I do for a living? I buy comic books. How fun is that? Super easy to deal with, and we're going to make it easy for
Yeah.
you. So we buy collections from anywhere in the world. Okay, so please, if you're thinking about selling, think of us. We're going to make it easy for you, and we pay the most. So sell us your comic books. You can hear the birds chirping. It's a beautiful Washingtonian afternoon. Um, I look a little haggard today, Rachel.
You haven't slept in a long time.
I haven't. You know, I'll sleep later. But right now, I'm getting ready for this huge claim sale that we're going to have tomorrow.
Yeah, we usually do them on Mondays, but we're doing
Yeah,
it on Tuesday this week. So that's Tuesday the 28th of May.
needed a little bit more time. We're doing something a little bit different. I'm going through my stock and I've decided to pull out some of the highest grade stuff that I've been holding back for a long time. It's time to kind of unleash this stuff to the public. So, one of the things I've been doing is just ratting away some very, very high grade bronze books. Um, I make a point when I buy things to focus on certain things, not hot books, just books that I think are important, and they're important in the highest of grades. So, a lot of the books that I'm talking about, they really kind of don't exist in these grades. And on this channel, I talk, and I've talked for the entire time that these grades are harder and harder to find, and some of them there might be just a couple of copies above, 9.4. For you to find any 9.8s at all, it's really challenging, and you're probably not ever going to find them in a long box. But that's what we're talking about today. Is I've got stacks of them that I'm going to bring to market tomorrow. I think it's going to surprise some people. You know what's funny is that a book cannot be hot. A book can be on eBay for $5, and all of a sudden you see that same book in 9.8. It's not $5 anymore, folks. Sometimes those books, people fight over them, and sometimes it really people have to digest it. And this happens to us often that we'll put a book up and it's crickets. No one really knows what to do with it, and all of a sudden, towards the end of the sale, people start claiming them. Or even after the sale, we start getting messages, hey, you still have that so and so available? I'd like to buy it. They'll start looking it up and start realizing that, oh, one of those hasn't sold in years, or one of those have never sold, or there's none on the census. That's what we specialize in. And I'll tell you, I've crawled through attics. I've been in nasty places. I have gone through, really bad. I've bought entire collections just to get to some of the goodies, and I've overpaid. Anyone who has sold me books knows that sometimes I think they've scratched their heads like, why is this person paying so much? Because I really do focus. I don't focus on hot books. That's not my thing. I'm not looking to buy an X-Men collection. That's the last thing I want. Really, it's not what I'm looking for. I'd much rather have the kind of stuff that I'm talking about tonight, and just hold them. And I really kind of know what I'm looking for. And I'll give you an example. So this is Speed Racer Special number 1 from 1988. I don't know if you're familiar with this book or not. I don't know if these are around not in grade. It's not a book you see often. This is a wraparound cover. Feel free to look it up. So the Speed Racer series came out a couple of years before that. I want to say it came out in 1985. This one came out in 88. It's a special. Really pretty interior as well. It's got a great schematic of the car. This book recently sold in 9.4 for $225. So this is a raw 9.6, near mint plus. So yeah, this is one of the books we're bringing tomorrow. I think there's a signed copy on eBay right now in what was that?
9.6, yeah, it's
9.6
signed.
for $300 they're asking. This is the type of book that I'm talking about. In our back stock, pulled it out.
It's just been sitting there.
Yep, I brought this the other night. No one knew what it was, and that's fine. And I actually recommended that no one buy this if you don't know what it is at our claim sale. I really don't like, I don't want people to make decisions based on impulse when it comes to this kind of money. I think that they should research it, know the book, and really understand what they're buying when they buy something like this. But I did bring the Speed Racer series, I don't know, 4 months ago, primarily in near mint, and people were crawling over each other to get to them. The number one sold for quite a bit of money raw. People love that series. This one is less known. Beautiful book. This is just an example, and it's probably, I don't know, one of the weaker ones that I'm about to show you. So I'm going to switch gears real quick into something completely different. This is a book. I think you could find a copy of this on eBay right now. As a matter of fact, can you find a copy right now, Rachel, of The Invaders number 24 on eBay?
First one that pops up is a fine raw copy for $4.82.
See, now I'll tell you, as I show you this book, you can get this book for $5, you guys. This is Invaders number 24. I think, what year is this from? 1974?
Yep, it's 78.
78? This is Invaders number 24. This is from the Monterey collection, a collection out of Southern California that is pretty renowned for the quality of their books. It would have been a pedigree if the owner of this collection didn't sell comic books before he passed away. He used to sell comic books by the set. He would take an entire run, like the Invaders. He would take every issue, bag them up into one set, and sell them, which made this collection not qualified to be a pedigree. But I have actually submitted these books in the early 2000s and got 10 O's on them from this particular owner that owned these, because they're impeccable. The page quality, the quality of the books, they're all uncirculated. This particular book, let's look up on CGC. This is a raw near mint, and just so you know, on the sale tomorrow, I don't know how many I'm bringing that are near mint, but I don't know, 30. More than I should. I mean, I don't even know if people are going to get fatigue. I don't know if I'm going to even bring them all. And there's a problem that this is causing me I'm going to talk about in a minute. But I have been holding these, just storing them away, because they're a bit overwhelming when you're dealing with something this high grade.
A 9.8 sold in September of 2023 for $240.
Yeah, not $5 anymore. and how many of these are on the census in 9.8, Rachel?
64 total graded copies, 27 9.8s.
Yep. So beautiful, beautiful copy. And I can tell you that as I was going through these again, I was just, every time I took one out of the bag, and they were still in the original bags, this collector had a little tiny piece of tape. He just put a little tiny piece of tape on it. And you can tell that he did not read these often. He might have read them once and put them away. The guy who got them is a friend of mine. He bought them from the bag man, Steve Johnson, and took care of them immaculately. They were in air conditioning the whole time. And they're incredible. So these really kind of make my heart move. Here's the problem I'm having. With what CGC just did with 9.9s and 10.0s has changed the game and makes me really trepidatious to sell these. So now I'm taking them out. Here's another. This is Invaders number 29. This is a first appearance.
Of the Teutonic Knight.
Yeah. Also a near mint. And I want you guys to know, if you're not familiar with me, if you're new to the channel, thanks for checking us out. If you're not, Rachel and I are, this business I started focuses on selling raw comic books, and rather than submitting books to CGC, I sell them raw. I clean and press my own comics. Typically, I like to buy the highest grade I possibly can, so it's really only a quick press I would ever have to perform. And these, you know, didn't even have to press half of these, but sometimes there's even the smallest thing wrong, and I'd have to only perform a quick press. Moments, really. These are just as good as they come, and it really makes me nervous that I would sell this for a 9.8. It would get submitted, come back a 9.9 or a 10.0, because it has attributes. And I want to show, like right now, why I think this particular copy might not come back as a 10.0. And the way that we bag these, we put multiple boards in them. I don't put them in Mylars. I put 2 boards behind it, and I put 1 board inside it. So I want to show, if you don't mind, show the bindery on the top right corner. It has the smallest of bindery tear, which is permissible in a 9/8. It may be permissible in a 9/9, but I don't think I would ever submit it with an expectation of it getting a 9/9. Now, if you don't mind, Rachel, can you look at the corners, the other corners, just to kind of get a close-up? This book is immaculate. It really is. You'd be hard-pressed to find a modern book this nice. And I'll show you the back cover. I'll take one of the boards, just to be really careful.
Sorry about the motorcycle.
It has two boards, so I'll just take one board and flip it like this. So you're not expecting to see any type of dirt. Now this is from printing. This would not stop it either, but too many defects like that would stop it from getting a 9/9 or a 10/02. So just as sharp as it can be. Yeah, this is a very, very clean book. Very flat, 100% gloss. It shines in the light. Anyway, this is just one example. Like I said, I have dozens from this series that are like that. I did sell a couple of these when I got the collection. I've never talked about this collection monetarily. So I bought 4,400 books from this gentleman. Primarily, there was no major keys in this collection, but there were books like this. These books really aren't valuable unless you make sure you understand them, and I've held them now for years. A dealer, I think, would have given for this collection between $1,500 and $2,500, and it's kind of what he expected. I like these types of books, and because of the grade, I paid $6,800 for this collection. He was shocked. My brother was shocked and concerned I way overpaid, and it was an overpay. I would say it was more than 50%. I told him I was going to pay him $6,500 for the collection, but when I gave him the money and I counted it out, the $100 bills had stuck together, and there was 68, and I told him to keep it. At the time, he really needed the money, or he wouldn't have sold his comic books that he loved so much. And I gave him way too much money, but the reason I did is because of the condition of certain things. The books I have here are not all from that collection, only a portion of them. These were in that collection. He also had these in that collection. And I'll tell you, these are as cold as ice. So this is 2001: A Space Odyssey, Jack Kirby's ode to this film that was fantastic. These are really pretty cold. No one ever talks about these. I love them. Jack Kirby through and through. They actually, the number one in 9/8 sells in the 160 range, which is pretty good actually. This is not, the number one here is not a 9/8. This is a Monterey Collection number one. The other ones are. The reason I say it's not a 9/8, and I'll show you. There are two spine ticks on this book. Can you find them, please, right here?
So right there and right there.
Yep. It has all the other attributes. Most of these books, not all, because all books are not equal, because they were kept climate controlled and everything. Typically, these books are bone white pages, great color strike. They're flat, all these great attributes that make them look like pedigree books. They kind of remind me of Mile High books, just on the colors and how bright and vibrant they are. But every once in a while, you're going to find they could be from stacking, it could be from storage, who knows. Sometimes they'll have an impression because the bag in front, because slumped in the box. Who knows? There's, I think, 8 parts to this, if memory serves.
I think you have all of them.
I do. I have the entire set from Bagman. The Bagman sold, he would buy 8 or 10 sets of these, and he would. I bought a set of these along the way and sold them years ago, but I did pick this up, and I'm going to bring this to my sale. But they're beautiful. I love them. I haven't graded them yet, so I'm not going to sleep again. I got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to go through them. We go through this stuff when we grade books. It's not a 3-second thing. It's both of us. It takes minutes per book, so when we bring hundreds of books, it's hours of us grading, often discussing things. Sometimes a book that I thought I was going to bring to a sale, I don't bring because it doesn't make the cut. A sale like this, everything at this sale is going to be very, very high grade. But anyway, even a set like this all of a sudden changes the panache of it because it is a Monterey book. It does have a distinction of just being an exceptional copy. Let me show you some of the covers that are in that grade.
Because it's a Mylar, they can see a reflection of me.
There you are. Tilted a little bit. These are great. I've always liked this series. I'm kind of a non-superhero comic fan. So the first appearance of Machine Man was in this series. I might have even picked that particular book out. Love the colors. Bringing all these. And these are cold, and that's what I like about them. So one of the things I really liked about these books is that they're cold. Did I tell you I'm worried about these coming back as 9.9 and 10.0s? I'm going to have to really evaluate maybe holding some back and just sending them to CGC. I really am not getting books slabbed. I think that collectors are enjoying, not all collectors, but I think there are collectors that are enjoying buying books raw and saving money. I don't charge as much as a slab book in many cases. The exception is that if there aren't a lot of copies of something, then you're not comparing it to a slab book. You're comparing it to itself. I'm bringing things like this. This is Phantom Stranger number 30 in Near Mint. Dominguez art. Very difficult book to find. You could not find a 9.8 right now if you tried.
There we go.
Love this cover. This is one of those books that in this series, it's one of the better covers. Great cover. And that's what Bronze Age horror is all about, is about the covers. But this is a dandy. I'm going to bring another horror cover, Weird War Tales number 4. Haven't graded this yet. It's either a 9.4 or 9.6. I'm going to get into that tonight. Exceptional cover by Joe Kubert. The sand of time is running out in this poor guy. I don't even have to look at this cover. I have it memorized. Love this cover. This is the stuff that makes me love Bronze Age horror. But this is another baller book that people that don't have it really want a high-grade copy. It's great to, people have been buying from me for a long time now, and it's nice to know you can buy a raw copy that's actually the grade that the person you're buying from says it is. Another book that I rounded up, didn't even know I had. I didn't even know I had this, Rachel. I love picking through my own books and finding things like a treasure hunt. This is E-Man number 1 from Charlton, 20 cent. This is books kind of hard to find and great and valuable. Unfortunately, this book, as I was going through it, I thought it was a 9.8 until I got to this corner. It has a factory cut right here. That is not from anything I did. It's not from use because the book has 0 wear. It looks like it's never been read. And if you guys know anything about Charlton, their paper quality is lacking. It looks like it was the way that the book was cut. It drops the grade down. In this case, it's probably a 9.4, but according to Hoyle, it should be a 9.2, but because the rest of the book is a 9.8, it's kind of hard to say. I hate to split hairs on things like this. I think anyone that collects this book would have a hard time finding one that looks this good. Oh, white pages too, which is really rare for this book. I've got tons of stuff. I mean, you guys, I have stacks of books like this. This is what I do. This era, this grade. If I had a personal collection anymore, I'd be showing, this is my collection I'd be showing you. This is the stuff that I get excited about. This is the stuff that makes me passionate about the hobby we're in. It's because you don't find stuff like this. It's almost impossible to find. So once you do find it, the people who do collect these types of books, they have a very hard time letting them go. I don't think I'm going to bring these, but I'm going to show them. And there's a reason I don't think I'm going to bring them. I'm going to have to sleep on this. This is Gru the Wanderer, the miniseries by PC Comics. These are also Monterey books. I have a funny suspicion that there are some 9.9s or possible 10.0s in here. These are immaculate beyond words, exciting. I've had these for a while. I am probably going to submit them. I don't know about that 10.0 game. I just like the comic books, but here's the deal. You know, if I was to sell one of these for $200 or whatever, and then someone turns around and sells it for $2,000, I think I'd get a little sick. So, you know, I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and submit these to CGC. I pulled them out to sell them, and I know that they're not going to be cheap, you know, if I sold them as 9.8s. But the fact is that by CGC changing their perspective on how they give out grades, and they're going to give out 9.9s and 10.0s more liberally, these are the types of books they'll do it with. Because these things, I haven't even changed the bag on this, but in an old bag, you can look at this book, and it is like, what the heck? It's not impossible to get this in a 9.8, but it's also not common. And I'll tell you, there are no pedigrees of this book out there. While the Monterey collection is not a pedigree, there are books out there that are known as Monterey in the census. I don't care if they call this a Monterey or not. I know what it is. So I know exactly what it is. I know what the provenance of this book is. I did not get this from my friend. I got this from someone else that got it from the Monterey collection. I chase these things all over the place, so I know what it is. I've spent a lot of money on these books. I spent a lot of time holding them. I put money that I should be putting into things that I sell, and I just put them away. So I don't think I'm going to bring them tomorrow. I have the whole set, just so you guys know, and they're all the same because they're all from the Monterey collection, so they all look the same. Now, the thing about these books is you're going to find some once in a while that might have some kind of storage damage. These all look immaculate, but I haven't graded them yet. I probably won't now because I'm going to submit them. Here's a great example. This one's really dirty. I don't know what happened to it, but you can tell it's got dirt on the cover. I don't know if I'll be able to remove that. I will give it an effort.
Yeah, because it's yellow, so...
Yellow is one of the toughest colors to clean because it does come off. I do like this cover very much. Sergio Arjonis. Yes. But the good news is, if you're a fan, I also have the long-running series that is Monterey. So this is my Monterey copy. This is a non-Monterey copy. And if they're out of the bag and you had them side by side, you could tell. This one has some defects on it. This is void of any defect at all.
And the newsstand's worth more, but...
Not in this shape.
In Monterey time.
This is I think it's a 9.4. I'm going to work on it a little more, but if you look at the top corner, if you look at the top, no, the other corner.
Oh yeah, there's a tiny color break.
Yeah, it's never going to make the race.
Yeah.
To 9.8. Where if you look at these corners, just it's just immaculate.
That one is a little...
Thanks for pointing that out. That's the reason I have to press these, because when you've been in a bag for 30 years, you get bent, and it's just, a press will make that crisp as a dollar bill. So I don't even know if I have to clean it. I mean, really exciting.
But that is one that has a 9.9 in it, so that's where it gets a little weird.
Yeah, so a 9.9 of that book would be...
One sold in 2018 for $475 slabbed.
Yeah.
There are 3 9.9s on the census.
So I think that one has a potential of being a 9.9, and what gives it that potential? Centering, lack of defects, lack of color breaks, lack of bindery tears. I don't like playing that game. I really don't like to, I think it's really arrogant for someone to show you a raw book and say it's a 10.0 because that person...
Doesn't feel right.
Well, how often is that person right? Never. But... things have changed.
Yeah.
And Rachel and I are pretty good at grading. So, I'm going to take these PCs out of the mix for the time being, and maybe some other ones. As I go through the other ones, just take some out. I'm not going to bring, there are some 9.6s and 9.4s, near mint pluses and near mints. I'll probably bring to another sale. I'm going to try to stick with a lot of 9.8s. I have some other stuff too from different collections. So what I do is I really focus on the highest grade books I can find. I just put those away for later on, and now is later. Tomorrow night I'm just going to bring a ton of stuff that's primarily obscure, but there are people who really want these types of books, and they want them in grade, and man, do I have them in spades. Now, when it comes to Charlton, I'm holding back a lot of Charlton. I have hundreds of Charlton in grade. Some that you guys have never seen in grade, like I have some 9.8s. I have some slab 9.8 Charltons in grade. I've got some just ballers. I'm waiting till I can bring 200-300 at one time. So if you are looking for some, you can get them all at once. We've got some other big things coming in the future, very near future, that I think you guys are going to be excited about. That's even different than that. So look at that. If you don't mind, kind of focus on the grade of this book. I spend money on these. I just want you guys to know this is not a $5 book. I did not pick this up in a cheap collection. I spent a lot of money. So I don't mind spending money on things that are in grade. And I put it away. That's wicked.
It was tucked away, and now it is not.
It's a tucker. It's a tucker.
Untucked.
Right. Yeah, so, I do have things like this, and I left a lot of this stuff in the box. I think I'm bringing a Marvel Superheroes number 8.
We have a Wolverine number 1 for the long-running series.
Yeah, we have a Hulk number, a Wolverine number 8.
A Wolverine number 8, Hulk, or Sandman number 8.
Yeah, First Appearance of Death. It's a near mint. These are Monterey collection. Ernie Chan covers from 1975. I had this entire collection the whole set of the All-Star comics, which is just a continuation from the pre-code All-Star. These might not all be in near mint. I did sell the 58. I got it slabbed. It did not come back 9.8. It came back 9.6. I sold it at auction. The first thing I did when I bought this collection is I tried to get my money back. I had spent so much money on these books that I had to cherry pick it to death just to try to recover my money. So that's one thing about overpaying, is that sometimes the devil's in the details. You end up selling the best books in order just to recover your money. So, you know, a lot of this is profit taking. It's like me getting the profit. Is doubling your money profitable? Sometimes it's not. It depends on how long it takes to sell a collection. I have overhead. You know, it costs me money to sell comic books. So if I just look at how much a gross sale was, what about the net sale and all that? So, you know, it's taken me a long time to get where I'm at, but I'm really happy to have the books, and I have no regrets whatsoever. This is a really nice book. A lot of times it's one at a time. I'll pick up a book. I might buy a whole collection or go to a convention or something and find one book like this. And it's like, is that hot? No. Is that hot to me? Yes. It's a picture frame, 20-cent, War is Hell, that is immaculate. And what happens is you pick up one of these at a time, and next thing you know, you've got stacks of them over a period of years. And I do, you know, so these are great. These are Monterey. So I've got these Amazing Adventures, and I'm bringing a lot of these. And you got to pardon the bag on this. I have not even taken this out of the bag. I do have some out of the bag. This is great. Beautiful copy of that. You know, I know this is the Cat's Meow right now. I've had several of these I put away quite a while ago.
Old Davy.
Well, true. I was a True Love fan, and I was a Dave Stevens fan. So this hit on two spots for me. True Love being a romance title from DC, and Dave Stevens. So I just kept these back when I sold our other romance, our Dave Stevens stuff quite a while ago, because I liked them. That kind of stuff all day. I got a couple more I brought just to show. Yeah, I brought one Star Wars 51.
We have a Boba Fett key.
Yeah, I have a full run of Star Wars that are immaculate. They are not from the Monterey collection, but I've been putting them together. A lot of near mint pluses, and there are some near mint mints there. Been holding those. To me, I like selling in this grade. If I'm going to do it, I like to do a big sale like I'm having. So I'm going to have a couple hundred books. They're all going to be in this grade. And it's really for the discerning collector that cares about grade, that cares about like getting books and not having to trifle with having to go hunt these down. This is the kind of sale I would crawl to. This is the kind of sale my brother enjoys, Ken enjoys, if the right books are there. We are going to have some horror, more than I showed. But anyway,
we'll have a lot more than we showed.
Yeah, I'm also going to bring some pedigrees, some other pedigrees, some raw pedigrees that have the
certificate of
authenticity. The certificate. Yeah, so I'm going to bring some other stuff. This isn't everything, and it may not even be the best stuff, but it's stuff I'm really happy to show you, happy to provide for people, excited. I told Rachel, I'm like, I got to shoot this stuff while I still have it. There have been so many sales, Rachel, that we've had that I'm like, we should like at least document this, because these books are really cool, and you don't see them like this very often. Raw, really, really high-grade books from this era. So.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you come and join our claim sale on May 28th. It's Tuesday at 5 p.m. We're going to be live for 3 hours showing these books, but also just come say hi over on Instagram. It's linked below if you want to say hello. And don't forget to subscribe.
I'm tired. Bring coffee.
Bring lots of coffee. We'll see you next time, guys.
Can't wait to see you next time. We're going to actually have another video sometime soon.
Sometime.
Okay.
Bye.